pictures or
Wow.
something of that. So I didn't want. I says no. And I thought maybe they would say something. He says okay. It's just step to the next. Go see the one of those guys, the secretaries,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll give you a dismissal paper. So I went to see the secretary. I thought they would. I said I want to be dismissed because I don't think I can handle this. I said okay. Be here.
Uh-huh.
He says, but he says remember. But he told me remember that you could be called back for another. We could
Okay,
call you
okay.
back
I
sometime in
act
the future. But then this was like 44 years ago when that happened like that. So since then, I said okay. I got my paper and I left.
I actually didn't know that you could do that um in the jury duty. But answer me this.
But
I've
they had a lot of
had
people. But they had a
uh,
lot of people there.
okay,
There was a lot. So
but I've
I
also
wasn't the
had
only one. There were others too.
that
Yeah.
it behoves you when you are invited for the jury duty to appear. Like it is I think it's something
Yeah.
it's wrong not to appear for jury duty.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I
I get
got a
in
letter
trouble.
saying if you're not there, that you will be summoned. You'll be summoned, and you'll be there's something with the
What?
police will come in and
So, oh, you
so.
mean
But
you'll
I
be
but I
arrested?
showed I showed up. I don't know.
So
The way
you'd
I
rather
read the letter.
go to the jury duty to excuse yourself there, but not to refuse to go.
Yeah,
All right. One more
yeah,
question
that's
before
it.
we leave this courtroom. How do they know the area to which they ask you for jury duty? So, for example, would you be in New York and then you are asked to go to jury duty in LA?
No,
No,
it's by
no,
county.
no.
In the
Uh,
U.S., it's all
uh,
handled by county.
Okay.
yeah,
So it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
It's
in
usually
some
Triangle
in my
County or whatever.
okay. It's
Yeah,
usually very near your area.
yeah.
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 The same here, like in the city of Montreal. So
Yes.
they can call anyone in within the city limits, within
Mm.
in the city
Okay.
limits. They can call anyone there. So
All right. All right.
and
All right. Wonderful.
yeah,
All right, let's go to the next new world that we have, and this is where we are going to Paris. And
party.
I
Okay.
may ask you to download the new environment, so please do that. And by the way, it's starting to rain. The storm is up again, so in case I glitch, I've made Tom and
Uh-oh.
uh, and Edward co-host.
Oh, I remember this place. I've been here before.
Yeah, this is actually very low poly, if
Yeah,
you ask me. Very low
I've been
yeah,
here.
poly.
yeah. There's not
Yeah,
much.
very low
You just sit
poly.
here and
I say they would have done a better job with the buildings. I believe that will be the Cathedral of Notre Dame that we are looking at
Yeah,
in that little
yeah.
horizon there. There's not much to say about Paris. It's a city of love, so they say. But I believe they did a very, very poor job of this particular world.
is it Diana? Hello there, Diana.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
hi, Diana.
Nice
Hi
to
there.
see you. Hi.
Hi.
And we have another one to check out. Oh,
It's
that
not the real Paris.
this is hardly looks like Paris. And Diana, you just missed the courtroom where you would have
Notre Dame, by the way, is not right in the middle of the city. Notre Dame
okay.
is on a little island in the river in the Seine.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hear bells.
yeah,
Wow,
Oh,
at least I put
yeah,
I
that
hear bells.
at
That
least I
doesn't
put
look
that
like
Oh,
in.
Notre. It
Yeah.
doesn't. It doesn't look like
Mm.
Notre
time
Dame
to
at
go to
all.
church.
I was really lucky to see it before the fire. It was absolutely
Oh,
amazing.
I would love it. So
yeah, I have
it's
too.
part of my bucket list to see it together with Westminster Abbey in the UK and the Vatican St. Peter's Basilica.
Mm.
But the next one is one of my favorite locations here in Engage. And if you see a little bit of darkness, here we go.
whoa.
And the reason why I love it is because it's huge, and it's a sort of place where
Oh,
you can have something going on, something that is ancient. It's a side of a location that you want to say the quotes, the great William Shakespeare quote, to be or not to be? That is the question. The sort of praise you want to do all of that. So this is the Pompeii stage, the sort of praise that Julius Caesar was murdered in, probably, with the famous last word, even you, Brutus, et tu, Brute.
As a side note, the actual Pompeii is now nicely available on Google Street View.
Oh,
and you could easily download and bring alive here of what it looks like, after it was the volcano and everything was just like freeze dried, and exactly that, not freeze, heat dried. And it's pretty spooky. It's really pretty cool. I mean, it was a very densely packed municipality, and you can really see what it was like. Anyway.
And I believe actually we've wandered with you there, brother. I do remember going to the ruins of this. Of course, the theater must have looked like this, but right now it just seems like just a topography, and you can still see the boulders that were part of the foundations of this sort of place. What would be the greatest quote that come to your mind when you see this? I think it is good for us to just see whether we can get a famous quote and just put it on the screen.
Oh, what is this? Oh, a sidebar. Oh, interesting.
Let me see whether I can put something on the screen there. And yes. All right, let's see here. Okay.
Oh, same as the other one, nothing in there.
I don't know whether these ones are spoken or just written. We'll see.
My crown that very few kings enjoy. Hell is empty, and all the demons are here. A fool thinks he is smart, but a smart man knows he is a fool. Love all, trust a few, do wrong to no one.
Those are some of the
famous. Good one. I like that last one.
It's deep.
Some of the famous William Shakespeare quote. But my favorite one, of course, is the Lamentation by Hamlet, when his father died there, that he made the wrong quote. But one of the best things that we can do, of course, is to stun everyone with Judi Dench here reading a Shakespeare sonnet. So let's listen in before we go to the next venue. This is Judi
How
Dench.
much Shakespeare is constantly in your head? How much Shakespeare do you carry around?
As it is all of us, of course. We don't realise, Graham, as you know, we quote Shakespeare all the time, perhaps without knowing it. But, I mean, also, you only have to go to those plays and be in any kind of those situations, being in love or being jealous or being angry or being whatever, and you will find that there is a way of him summing up that is completely sufficient for what your emotion is.
Yeah.
What passage is on your mind now, Graham?
Well,
It was just on the tip of your tongue.
how all occasions do inform against me.
You white hot. Show me the card. Show me the card.
Don't know where that came from. Quick, Judy. If I poke you with a stick, can you just do a bit of Shakespeare for us?
If you what, with a stick? I poke you with a stick.
Touch you gently. If I touch you gently with a stick, could you do a little bit for us?
Like what?
I don't know, like a bit of a play or a sonnet? Or...
A sonnet?
Sonnet?
I'll do a sonnet.
It's like just having a Shakespeare jukebox in the house.
I'll do it.
That's a nice idea, Shakespeare jukebox.
When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. There.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Let's go to the mountains.
Spellbinding. Really, it's gorgeous.
Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger next to Dempsey there? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
That was
it
the
is.
intention.
Yeah,
Yes.
there he is. Yeah, now he's talking.
I'll
Okay.
be back.
Off to the mountains. One of the things that you should know is that I'm a mountain person, and this is my I'm in my element when I'm here. And they did good by putting background wind. You can feel it blowing in your ears. One of my good friend, Jeremy Nichols, told me that he lives in a place like this in Colorado. So we are. Does anyone here know the location of the Icelandic mountains where we are actually?
Not me. Not me.
All right.
We're in Iceland? Probably in
But I
Iceland.
do know.
Then I'm going to educate
I do know
you.
that the two leading. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to finish.
The two leading countries in the world at producing geothermal energy are Iceland and Kenya.
Oh wow! I didn't know we are part of that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
no,
Kenya
no,
was
it's-
part of that?
Wow.
It's because of the Great Rift Valley. It's all out of there. The Great Rift Valley opens up,
Okay.
channels to the geothermal energy in the earth. And it's actually a lot of Kenya's energy comes
Wow.
out of the Rift Valley little exploitations there.
We actually
No,
know the area.
that's a great trivia question.
We call it. We go there sometimes. It's not very far away actually from where we are. It's about 2.5 hours drive to go to Kariadusi, where in fact we have a natural spa where you call it a spa. Like
That's
jacuzzi,
right.
A natural jacuzzi. And the doctors recommend that you dip yourself there at least once a year. But the Icelandic mountains actually are all in Ireland. That one you are correct. They are in Ireland, and they straddle two tectonic plates, and so they sit on a geological hotspot. And Ireland is shaped by volcanic activity and glacial erosion. So when these tectonics are dancing between each other, the tango effect is the up of these gigantic monstrosities. They are beautiful in their own places, and I believe this is a good mapping or a photogrammetry art of the Icelandic mountains. And we're gonna do two locations, the Icelandic mountains. We're gonna see it as it is now here, and then we are going to see the winter version. So I believe this is not the winter version. This is how it looks like in summer.
This is summer? Wow.
So let's see how it looks in winter. So hold there, and we're gonna see whether we can try and have the same in winter. And here we go.
Hey, more snow.
Now this is more like it, of the weather. Is it still winter in the U.S., Canada,
Yes.
or is it going?
Well, tomorrow's going to be spring. Tomorrow will be the first day of
we're right
spring.
at the changeover right now. Yeah.
But is there still snow and ice?
Yeah, over
Some
here in
places-
Montreal there is snow. I have
Yeah,
snow.
depends how
So-
far north you are, how
so-
high you are.
When does it start to thaw?
Well, all summer long. When I lived in northern Utah in mountains just like this, there'd be snow on the mountains,
Yeah.
in May and June and July. And the reason that the streams and the rivers have any water flowing is because that snow melts all year long and then starts up again. And when it doesn't snow, people go, "Oh my God, all the streams are going to dry up by July this year," kind of thing.
So just because tomorrow will be spring, Edward, does it mean is it the calendar that marked spring, or does the weather mark the beginning of spring?
No, it's the calendar.
So even though
it'll
you're
still be snow.
saying,
We'll still have snow.
oh, there you go. So
Even
even
though we
though
have
it will
snow,
be
we'll still
spring
be there.
tomorrow, there'll still be snow. It'll still look like winter.
Yeah.
Fiji,
It's the calendar. It's the
does
way they
Fiji
put it.
experience these extreme seasons, Edward?
That's
George?
Not really. No, I mean, a couple of years ago, there was a hailstorm because sometimes the storm clouds get really huge, but that's extremely rare. It's pretty much summer all year.
Wow. I see. And we don't have any of this here in Africa, although the mountains get to be snowy sometimes, not all the time, but we get to be snowy sometimes. And I don't know whether Diana has something to say about all of it.
No, what I found out that I'm in love with mountains
Yeah.
the day we went to
Yeah.
see Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yes.
I just couldn't stop, looking at it, and
Yeah.
it's one of the most beautiful,
Yeah.
what do I call it? Mountains are so beautiful. Just imagining that they'll be there for years and years, and nothing can take them from where they are. So, yeah, I loved seeing Mount Kilimanjaro, and being here kind of brings, that memory back.
All right. Let's go back to our location and continue the event from there.
Here you are.
Yeah, I like this place. We used this in the first Agog demo.
Yes, this is we call it a fireplace. It's more like, I think it was inspired by the Altspace VR campsite where we all used to gather. But now that we are here, we can actually give you an update of what's going on. And before we even go on, let's see what happened here a few months ago. This is one of the videos that was made.
Oh, geez.
That looks familiar. Hey, Tom, you still have the hat there? Still have that
I
hat?
sure do.
Africa VR
I'm never gonna lose it.
is that it is entrenched deep into the community.
We see the initiatives that they have over there, and we all think that's something we want to be part of. The community, the stories, the vision.
And I want you to, as that is playing, I want you to observe Israel, who is at the bottom of the screen there, and who is
He's who my
actually,
eyes go to.
He's sobbing there. If you can see, you can clearly tell that he's sobbing there. And I'll tell you the reason why in a few moments.
And they also provide a safe refuge for teens who want to learn tech, especially next-gen emerging technologies like XR.
Africa VR Campus and Center. XR for social good, for social change.
And that happened a few weeks ago. Obviously, we are still reeling from this after effects of that. And whether or not Tom was at this event, I would have still played that video because it showcased. There's a load of videos that we haven't even had time to, load them all together for to be able to show you. But we'll be, as they come in, we'll be bringing them to you. This is in the aftershock or the after course of what we talk about here in Africa VR Campus and Center, XR for social good, for social change. I met Tom, who is now called Moge, here in Kabete, in the Metaverse. And even right now, I'm with him in the Metaverse. Even now, as we host this event, I'm with him in the Metaverse. But Edward, you bring a whole different aspect of all this interaction in the Metaverse. You hum a Swahili song as a favorite song in the Metaverse. If all the circumstances were right, because that is what everybody tells me. If the circumstances were right and we never had issues with the cost of tickets and everything in between, is that something that you'd like to experience yourself?
For what you mean? If what issues were right?
If everything was okay, there was no issues about the cost of a plane ticket. Is this something that you like to experience, flying all the way, being part of a community far off in Africa?
Yes, I think I would. I would. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
don't mind taking a plane ticket from Montreal. George from Fiji. Does it shock you? You've been in the Metaverse for as long as I've known Tom, and now you see us studying together in the same location in Kabete. What comes to your mind?
I don't know. It's kind of a bit overwhelming, Like I'm really amazed at what you're doing, and really sad for what's happening here. You've made amazing progress, and about all I can say now is that here we're going backwards. A while back, the chancellor of the university said they have to ban AI, and in the meantime, Oxford University is offering excellent free courses in how to use AI. I've already done one. It's very good. So, I don't want to be leaving Fiji right now because the world is a real mess. I don't know where else to go. At my age, to be trying to relocate to a foreign country and starting over again, I just can't even think about it.
And just before we hear from Moge himself, because he's present with us, this is what one of his friends said when he was here. A good friend of ours.
Hello, everybody. Frank White here. So the word is out that my good friend Tom Nickel will be visiting Kenya shortly. And I just wanted to say safe travels, Tom. And I'd like to give a shout out to the African VR Campus and Center, all the great work that you're doing. And I wish you all the best. And I hope you enjoy Tom's visit. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
And so did Karen Alexander.
Greetings. Greetings from XR Women. I'm Karen Alexander, one of the co-founders of XR Women, and I am delighted to send this message with a warm greeting to our friends at the Africa VR Campus and Center. We admire the work that Wayaki and Diana do at the center, and in particular their work with the XR Girls Africa. We love the way that they are empowering these young women through technology and knowledge. And we are very proud to have the XR Girls Africa as one of the student chapters. And as you can see behind my shoulder, in 2025, Diana Njeri was the recipient of the XR Women Real World Impact Award. We have been friends and colleagues and partners with the Africa VR Campus and Center for some years now, and we really value the meaningful experiences that we've had together and the ways that we have been able to learn together and to introduce one another to new members of our larger community so that we grow in collaboration and cooperation and work together to use technology to make the world a better place. We send our warm greetings to you, and we thank you for the work that you do.
But what did Tom do when he came to Kabete? Did he tour and see the lions and the mountains? Oh no, we put him to work. Here he is.
Africa VR Campus and Center Solar and Green Technologies project launch in Kenya.
I think we can do this. I think by the time I go, in just a few days, Paul and I are going to say, it's a go. We can do it. We've added up the numbers. It's doable. We are going to be able to supply electricity to people who have never had it before at a price that they're going to be able to afford with some small monthly payments. And those payments will be done, and the systems will still be working for years after that for free. Could be hard for people out in rural Kenya. So we need to put together the sources of microfinance to help individual families buy systems. They'll be affordable, but we're going to need a little finance. Then we're going to train the young people coming out of Africa VR Campus to do the installation, to do the training. Also, to be independent. Not have to worry if the power system of Nairobi breaks down. Doesn't matter. I have my own power system. Save money, be independent. These are things I'd like to be part of.
Non yugua support in your Africa VR Campus Center. I will really add neko moaji no. Muitekere nigeda tuteithekere toto itatumia na ciana citu itaithekere ho. Neguo.
Ask them, have we agreed we are going to put solar? Yes. Have we agreed we are going to market this in the community? Yes. The fire, the fire. We want to see how. Are we going to do it or not? Yes. We are going to do it? Yes. Are we going to do it? Yes. We are going to take God of yeah.
And they walk back, they sing through the forest.
And now Mugi is here with us, part of everything that we did there. We toured Kenya from, and now he's here. What is it with you, Mugi? Why all this? Why Kenya? Why Africa VR Campus and Center?
Yeah, well, I think you know the answer to that. It's you and Diana. I mean, it's the relationships that we've made in VR. everything that we do is a testimony to the power of reaching out and making relationships in this medium here, and as you know, the when the idea first came up of going there, it wasn't to do solar energy or that came later. It was always like I want to go to Paul's house, and so to me it's a we met in VR story for sure, and but again, what you see being here, and the video captures it pretty nicely too, is that we can know each other here in VR, and I think a lot of who we are really authentically comes through in VR. I don't think it's bullshit at all. What you can't see in VR is the way the people in your local home environment react to you.
Yes.
And what I got to see was Paul and Diana, with people, in front of people, listening to people, and watching how you fit into your world. That you can only get by being there. And it just reinforced everything that I felt about you. There was no surprises. The way people respect you and take you seriously here in VR, they respect you and take you even more seriously, where you live. And it was a beautiful thing to see. Look at those people in that video there. That was just you were able to gather together, 30 or so people, just on a informal basis, and they're just listening really seriously. There's nobody there looking at their phones or talking with each other or whatnot. Of course, that little girl was a real trip. As you can see, there's one guy here who doesn't, one of these people doesn't look like the other. And the little girl was quite fascinated, wanted to touch me and pull on my ponytail, and probably everybody there did, right? But the little girl can do it.
Of course.
If you can just go right up and I'm going to touch this guy's skin because it looks so different than anything I've ever seen before. Yeah.
Don't tell Jeremy this, but
this is a good Wayaki story too. We've been having a serious discussion up to that point out in that village, and then at the end of it, Wayaki, and you can just see this guy knows how to work a crowd. I get up and I'm my awkward old white guy self. I put a certain amount of passion into it, but you really work a crowd, and you got all those people. He said, "Let's stand up and go out into the field and make a big circle." It's not obvious that after a workshop, everybody gets up and stands around in the field. But since you said to do it, they all did it, and there they are out there in the field. So you can make your 360 video, and take some great pictures. But anyway,
that weirdness that I have obviously is what Diana see all over the place, and I will let us talk about that in a little while. Because people do think, and I've always told you this, even when we were meeting in VR, I told you, people see me as a weird guy. The things that I do, the things that I tell them to do sometimes, and I don't know whether it's awkward. I don't know whether it's extraordinary. I don't know. It's something that I was born with, and I can't help myself because I knew maybe that's the only time the Warirota community will get to stand with Tom Nico, and I wanted to bookmark that with a nice 364, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Diana,
well, and everybody followed you. That's my point. They followed you enthusiastically. They weren't grumbling. It's like, what's this jerk trying to get us to do? They just did
it. Well, Diana, what do you have to say about all this Wayaki effect, even in the community? You've seen me chair meetings, chair events here locally. Am I always one shot away from being a professional MC?
Of course. The other day I was telling Paul that he'll be shocked when people come to our home village and tell him by force you need to be a member of parliament because we have no other choice. And I don't know. I see it happening because I see the way they listen to him, and the way they want to know more of the things that he talks about, because one thing about Wayaki is, what if he's doing something, he won't keep quiet about it.
Yes.
He wants everyone to know what he's doing, even if you're old or how literal you are. He will tell you about it. And so people get fascinated. People love it. Sometimes people get confused. Is this an alien? What is these things is preaching to us? But all in all, he's a leader and I love it. But on regards to this whole tour of Tom and Jeremy, as I said in the beginning when Paul showcased some of these videos, it's all love.
It's all love.
And it's all love. And I felt it. You could feel it. Whether they were visitors, it was their first time to know Tom or Jeremy, or it was their first time to be in our compound. You could feel that love, that someone is coming all the way, from the US just to see this person or to meet his family and all that. So it was all pure, just pure joy and pure love that you don't get to see it more often, especially in the times and the world that we are living in.
Exactly.
So it melted my heart, and it shocked me that Tom is so ready to go. I was telling Paul that, can we just keep it, just lower the schedule today, let Tom rest. But Tom, you were so ready to go. Ready to go. When you were going to Nyeri that day, I felt my body couldn't travel.
True.
But Tom was so ready to go. And this is like a 3-hour drive. And you went and came back, and that shocked me. It really did. So it's something that I really admired from you. You were ready to go and take action. Not many people of your age would do that. So that was really lovely. And we want to see you more often, and tell Jeremy that we really loved his visit to just joining you and coming to meet us. Really appreciate it.
That's really well said. I want to add something to talking about Paul, though, and getting away from me. The thing about Paul, the thing about what I noticed about you is, especially when you're speaking English and not in Kikuyu, lots of times I did, but I could still tell, is you're not weird, and you should never be a politician. There's a guy who just died 3 days ago now. His name is Habermas. He was a German philosopher, and he's a philosopher of talking. And you'd love it, because what he said is, most talking is meant to obscure the truth. It's meant to hold a professional position, to have a utilitarian function, to be power and dominant, all that kind of stuff. But what we should just do is talk frankly with each other. And that's what I try to do, and that's what you do. You do it with, and the reason you're weird is that you just come right out and say things really directly, and you do it with a lot of passion. And you do it with a little bit of that, call and response type of thing that you'll do to work the crowd. But it's not political. It's not stereotype. It's just speaking from your heart, which is, kind of what Diana was just saying. And that is unique, and people love it. But you would not be successful in politics, because I don't think you can get to raise the funds that you need to stay in politics and speak the truth. So you're doing just right, just where you are. Yeah, that's for sure. But anyway, and more of us need to just talk directly. It doesn't don't play a role. Just talk from our heart. So
yes, these videos cannot capture Edward is, and like Diana said, she couldn't do the Nyeri drive because the previous day was this day that we went to Kabete for this particular meeting. And it was raining a lot. We had also to deal with rain as we were scheduling all these meetings. And then after now this meeting, as you can see on the video, the next day it was a drive to Nyeri. And the thing is, Muge did it. Here is just a snippet of that drive. It's a very beautiful highlands of Kikuyu, and I had set it so that there are more people in Nyeri, because it's not a place that I go to often. But although in my last drive there, I was with Diana in this very location. We had a little meeting there during Christmas, and I actually talked about leadership there. And funny enough, and I'm gonna post the video here. Let me just rewind it there and pause it there for a little bit, because when I talked about leadership, those two young people in front, just next to Tom, you see, there's a lady there, and a guy there called Mark. They took up that mantle, and they are now the young lady there is now doing what we call women aspirant for Nyeri County. So she's running for what we call women rep in Nyeri County. And the guy next to her, Mark, is going to run for member for County Assembly for Warirota. So my talk of leadership gave birth to those two, and that's why I invited them for that particular event. They are not yet in the leadership circle, but hopefully they will be. And then you're going to have people who are in these governments now who are deeply connected to Africa via Campus and Center. And personally, even though Tom is telling me about not being a politician, I hate being a politician. I am more of an activist than a politician. But this particular thing that is happening or that happened in Kabete and in Kiambu, and I cannot tell you enough, that is still bringing a lot of feedback to me even as we speak. The guy, the political guy who was with us in the ceremony and in the Kabete meeting, called me and told me, please, can you give me another meeting? This is not something that happens normally. Diana, you will attest to that. Politicians don't usually look for me, but now they are. They are looking for, and they want to us to have meetings and talk about stuff. I'm not a politician though, and neither am I interested in politics. However, if it is stuff that can uplift our people, if it is stuff to collaborate on us on how to make a better Kenya, a better Nyeri, a better Kabete, that is a discussion I want to have. In fact, and forgive me for my French, this is a big fuck you to capitalism, to neocolonialism, Edward. This is my big fuck you, having my brothers here all the way coming to collaborate with me. It's something that has empowered me to a new level that you cannot imagine. And it has never happened anyway as far as the Kabete history is concerned. And so, thank you for letting me put that out of my chest.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot to say today. Cannon sent us an email a few while ago to say that he won't be joining us. But allow me to just to recognize and to bookmark this. Some of the things that we do here locally when you want to really tell that good things are happening is women love to sing during such. And one of the songs that was sung during the ceremony by the Kenyans, who some of them, by the way, don't forget, are mothers who are EXA Kids Africa cohort of students. One of the songs that they sang during that ceremony, and they love doing that a lot, especially when I'm with them, is they were pleading to Mwene Nyaga, who is the Kikuyu deity Ngai, about that which was foretold. And I've heard even Tom himself talking about that. I don't know how he got to know it, but there is the foretelling of others who will come to our community to help build, having seen the white men who killed and tortured back in colonialism, which now I don't like turning back to. I think it is time now we move forward, because you've realized that others may come who have our interest at heart. And it is the prophecy is starting to be born in Kiambu. Tore Amo B means we are children of our mother home, the Creator. And this is the song, the special song that was sung for Moge and Irongo, which is Tom and Jeremy. And with its deep lyrics that I'm going to translate for you in a short while. But let's just listen just to the first verse in its original version, sung here by my good friend Kwame.
Mwamukeri magongo na mandwairo Ngai uri mbere tutingihotu nithu mwene nyaga twakuhoya tuhoyaga wendani na gitio na tha nyingi cia wendo wa ruriri uiguano wa gikuyu na mbumbi mwene nyaga twakuhoya.
And this special song was sung for Jeremy and Tom. It's a song usually that is sung only when Kikuyus meet for prayers in their ancestral language. And this will hardly even be sung when another of another tribe is among the Kikuyu. So I want you to recognize the special effect. However, it was only sung after the Kohumbo ceremony that Tom and Jeremy experienced. And by the time it was being sung, they were all even wearing the Kikuyu regalia. And you saw that in that previous video that I played. But it's a special song because the hands will be outstretched in the receipt or in the receiving style when you put your hands like this. And that is, if you go back to the video, I know brother here would not have understood what was going on, but everybody's hand the receiving mode. But receiving what? Receiving the truth. And this has gone deep, not just with our tech in our village, but people are now asking, is this the foretelling of our fathers? Are we at the discourse where we turn a new chapter and say we forget colonialism and now look forward to working together, look forward with dreaming the same dream, the same vision? I know it may look a little bit minute considering it happened with a few people, and I'm talking about the whole Kikuyu tribe here, but word is going out as we speak. And because of that, even in the Kikuyu Council of Elders, the chairmen are saying, Wayaki, we need to have a serious talk about this. My brother Tom is considered as a Maturaguru elder because of his age. He cannot be compared with his son Jeremy, who would be considered as a Degopa elder because of his age. But the fact that we have a Maturaguru elder somewhere in Aucas, in Seattle, says that a certain arrow was sent, and now with its seeds that was carried by that arrow, a tree may grow, and that tree will be a signifying factor of something new that can happen way past after colonialism of 1950. I know maybe some of my talks are more like mumbo jumbos. I cannot express it clearly, maybe because English is not my first language, but I cannot clearly paint the picture of the impact that has been left. And by the way, it's like the real kids who go to church and they go to Sunday school in the Christian denominations here in Kabete are now calling Jeremy the young Jesus and Tom the old Jesus. Because every Jesus who played the Jesus movie has those ponytails. That's why they are now being called. That report came to me yesterday. Where is the old Jesus? But they were asking that in Gikuyu. Because of now the movies that are done here are done by Americans, and now they think that Tom is an old Jesus and Jeremy is a young Jesus. So anyway, that is all we have here at the top of the hour. Having said all that, Edward, I know I usually come back to you because you've seen this all happen. You are not, you sit on the side and you see all this happening. Any words of wisdom before we wind up?
You've done a lot for the community, Paul. I think you and both Diana have really done, and compared for a couple years ago to now, your community has been lifted up like that to a higher space, and there's more people now being involved. So it looks like a very hopeful future for you, for the Kukui tribe, as more people will be coming in and more people will be helping out. And so this is all very good, very good news like that. I find looking forward to see what the future holds. Should be very interesting. What else can go after this?
Yeah.
Like what else are they going to be doing after this? Like with any people from the people that we see the stream, would they be coming in here and talking to us like with other people in VR?
Yeah.
Like that could be possible like that since you're all aware, you've introduced them to VR. So I wouldn't be surprised to see other people, maybe even officials could come in here. Like the one you said, politicians, they could come in here and meet the people. It'd be great to see a politician from Kenya meeting the other people here and talking with them. That probably could be impressive to them. Say, wow, there's a big, nice community there that Paul has done. So
you will be meeting them actually. One of the things. I don't know where that came from. Mute it. I was trying to say that some of the politician who was with us during this whole thing will be coming here for an interview in a week or two, so you'll be able to see that the guy who's standing there on the extreme right, he'll be standing on the video. That is Edward on the video.
Not wearing a hat. The one guy not wearing a hat.
Yeah, the guy
not wearing a hat. There.
He's not wearing a hat because he's not an elder yet.
Hey, the one with the hat looks familiar. The guy with the hat looks familiar. Where do I see that face before?
If I post it there, you'll see that it's Jeremy wearing his. Now, it's not a hat, it's a Yetuko. That's the right name for it. Yetuko. Yetuko.
Yetuko.
Yes, exactly. Yetuko. Okay. And you can see Israel's Yetuko is not having any ornaments on them because he's a young boy.
Oh, okay.
So he'll have to start adding this. The beads on it when he gets when he's initiated, usually when he's 14 years old.
At what age do they get? Do they add the beads?
14.
At what age would they add the beads?
14.
Oh, 14. Okay.
He'll go through his initiation and he'll earn his beads. But you can see mine and Jeremy's are the same because technically we are in our 40s and we are both Deguas. But for Tom, because he's a Maturaguru elder, he gets the full-blown Getuko. I also have that Yetuko, but however, for the sake of the respect of a Maturaguru elder, I cannot wear it while a Maturaguru elder is wearing his. So that is why mine was demoted back to the Degwa Yetuko, because I was in the presence of a Maturaguru elder, yours faithfully Moge here. So he was the only one together with, you can see the guy behind that lady there, the one who is standing next to Jeremy there, is the guy who was the MC for the day. But he's not just an MC, he's an elder also of the next village nearest to me. In fact, he's my colleague in eldership. And I think we have another man here who is not been captured by the
And he's been in VR too.
No, he's not the one who was in VR. The one who was in VR was the
he's not the one? I thought he was.
Whom
okay, gotcha.
I can't see in this shot. Oh, there he is. The guy on
there's that guy. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah,
so now you see then, Tom, when you see the Yagetuko and the Kiari, they are the same, right? You can see they are almost the same.
Yeah.
Because you are both Maturagu elders, and so because of your presence, I cannot wear my Maturagu Yetuko. I can only wear my Degwa in respect of your whatever. And something also happened here that is also good to note. Kiari cannot wear. His Yetuko is not new. It's older. You can tell because Tom's Yetuko is fresh and clean. It has not done many cases. That is what we say. He has to go to many cases because every time you go to a case, a tribal case, you have to wear it and listen to the case, be able to give their solomonic wisdom to decide how that case will be. So anybody who came to this event will note that Tom has just been crowned Maturaguru elder because Yetuko is almost new and fresh and clean. The MCA in the middle, though the former MCA Philip, is not an elder, and so he has not been accorded eldership by the Council of Elders, and so he will not and he cannot wear a gituko. In fact, if you look at his at the shirt he is wearing, it might be a tribal shirt, yes, but if you look closer to that shirt, it has no beads on them. So that means he cannot wear what we call a matonyo or madak because he's not an elder yet. If you look at Carrier's, the one on the right, it has beads. If you look at mine, it has beads. If you look at Tom's, it has beads. And even Jeremy's has beads. And Philip will be the first politician to come to the metaverse because now he's interested in how all this happened. He has put big posters in our village asking people to vote for him in the next election. And now we are going to be bringing him for the first interview. So yes, you'll be meeting some of these people here. Carrie has come here, but I think, Edward, you are at the Dev Q&A when I brought in the two elders. I don't know. I think you were there. I remember you.
I think I was there. I was there.
Yeah,
I was there.
you
Yeah,
were
I remember. I was there.
So the guy is the one who came, and another friend of his who was not present at that ceremony. So, words of wisdom, George, as we wind up.
From me? Are you joking?
George, yeah. I'm not joking, George.
I don't.
You have words of wisdom.
I don't know.
Such deep. Such deep.
I don't think so.
Wow. All right. Let's give it to. Anything you want to say, George, anyway, before we close, even though it may not be just a word then?
I don't know. I'm just really impressed with what you're doing. You know, it's just amazing.
Nice. Thank you. Diana?
Yeah, I also don't know if I have anything more to add, but just it's amazing to see how that went. And, we are always remembering these days. It will never escape from our minds. And actually today was our second class for the new cohort of students. These ones, oh boy, these ones are, they are wise, they are knowledgeable.
They are Gen Z.
They are so ready to learn.
Yeah.
Oof, they are the real Gen Zs. And today the class was on fire. They just want to answer every question. They're jumping on their teacher and holding Paul's hand. I am the one to answer this today. It was
I was almost
the
held
class
by my
was
shirt.
so on fire.
Let me answer this, teacher.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I hope and I know that you're going to meet them soon. They're so excited. Actually, they have already enrolled some of them on their careers. We have a nurse, we have an accountant. There's one who's doing project management, and so on and so forth. So
good.
I'm
manage
loving
the solar
this one
project.
Yeah. I'm loving this one. So.
We had a discussion with Diana about that because we thought let's involve the older student first, and then they will teach them these ones later on as they finish their metaverse classes.
And actually you can see the difference between the earlier students and these new students, right? Because those who have undergone the classes and learned about the VR and all that, their minds are so sharp. Even though the new ones they look exposed. They look like Gen Zs, the real Gen Zs. We thought that the earlier class should enroll on the solar project, Thomas, as we had planned earlier. But after they finish, they can join them. The more the better, because the independence become more valuable to them. Yeah.
True. And last but not least, Moge, with your words of wisdom.
Well, I'll just put another vote for VR. Really, not for any of us, but it really meant a lot, obviously, to people there that I came that far. It meant a huge amount to me to actually be there, but it's very hard to do that. It's not just that it costs money. it's physically and emotionally hard to leave your familiar place and go across the planet to some whole other place. That's really hard. I wouldn't have done that in a million years, if it wasn't for the depth of the relationship that we had already built in this medium. So I think there's a lesson to be drawn from that too. So.
Yeah, some guy from West Virginia. Is there a place like West Virginia?
There sure is.
When he saw the video on LinkedIn, he said, "This has never been done as far as I know. And it's a call for all of us to follow." Some guy wrote for me from West Virginia today.
So I want. I don't want to grow. I want to be copied.
Yeah. That's what he said. And because when Tom left the Orcas Island, his wife had to let him go to Africa. His daughter had to let him go to Africa. In the late 30s, Wagaiduma sang such a song that allowed me to go that which I don't know, even though I know to whom I'm going to. I am not sure of my return to you. All I know is I may bring the most beautiful memories that I could share. These were the words of Wagaiduma in the song Kahora. Will I see my son once more? When Tom came, he said, "I wish my father and mother were here." That is what Wagaiduma wished when he saw everything go well. I'll see you next Thursday, same time, as I leave you with the beautiful sounds of Wagaiduma singing Kahora. Let's walk ever lightly.
Sounds like Mississippi Delta Blues. It is Mississippi Delta Blues.
I'll see you next Thursday, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for being here.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. You see where Delta Blues came from.
Ne wa kere kire koika